Hi, hello. Hey, welcome to our Monday morning live stream here on Above Life channel where we talk about intuitive topics and sometimes we have special guests like yesterday on the podcast because on Sundays we have Sunday morning coffee podcast. We had some archangels pop in, so that was just absolutely lovely. Today our talk topic is silo. And the reason why this topic is important here as we are stepping into the second week of July, we're coming off a holiday week here in the United States. The energy of the silo came through in our 2024 energy forecast for the year. As you may or may not know, this year is the year of the empath for us here on Above Life channel. I'm in devotion to the energy to support the empathic heart. And because of that, at the beginning of the year, we had a reading that talked about one of the things that came forward was being a silo. And I actually have my notes from that. And the advisement was to not isolate, but to be strong within ourselves. And I think that feels really poignant right now. So we're going to click into that and we're going to work with that energy. All right. So before I get too far in, I'm going to check my sound. From time to time, I have there we go. I have to check my sound. I'm my own sound engineer, master of all trades on this one here, one woman shop. Hello in the chat. Hi, Temple. Hi, Vianne. Hello, Rebecca. Nice to hear from you. Nice to see you. All right. Good morning to all. I hope you are sliding into your week with effortless ease. If not, maybe this will cheer you up a bit. Got my coffee in hand, got the sun streaming through the window. I really can't complain too much this morning. I'm feeling pretty good. And so grateful for that, for those things. So let's tap into this whole concept of silo again, to not isolate. Okay. As empaths, and by the way, if you're not familiar what empath means, I know it's like a buzzword, but what it means is very heartfelt, very sensory, sensitive. It's the way that you're intuitive. It's the way that everybody is psychic, especially people that you might think are not. Ooh, interesting, isn't it? Sometimes the people that seem the coldest, keep you at arm's length, are the most distant, are the people who have built up very protective layers around their heart. But you empath who are aware of empathic energy, of psychic sensitivity, it is not your job to break down their walls or to soften their hearts for you. It is not your job to do that. We're not trying to infiltrate those folks who are so empathic, who have been so empathic in multiple lifetimes that they come into this lifetime and they've been beaten up already in the heart chakra. And they're like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. So they might seem to be people who are maybe kind of jerks or like they don't really care. But the truth is they have cared too much. And it might be a scenario where they have leaked out all of the energy in their heart chakra and they're running at deficit. They're running at a loss. It's like we used to say when we're trying to get to the gas station, pushing it like when you're a teenager and you don't have the money for the gas. We're running on fumes. The gas light is on and we're running on fumes. Can we make it? That's kind of how a lot of empathic people are navigating the world. And again, the concept of empath, a lot of people will kind of poo-poo it or kick it aside, or they'll lump it into this whole spiritual revolution or this whole righteous, I'm so psychic, let me tell you what I see for your future. Let me get your cards. Let me do your cards for you. Let me do that. And while And then I'm gonna use some of my oils too. Oh yes, and then I'm gonna use my singing boils to boils, my singing bowls to fix you and that some empathic folks will tend to use distraction techniques, not attraction techniques, but distraction techniques, and utilize something that's awesome and wonderful too much to the point of excess, which creates a toxicity about it, right? Just like empathic people who are super sensitive maybe are complete assholes now by this point in their life because they've been through the ringer multiple times and they have been they're been running on fumes for a long freaking time. Okay. I'm not making excuses for poor behavior. You still got to be present, engaged, responsible for your part of your relationships, and showing up for life, okay? And some people do totally check out and are even, not even that at this point. But for those of us who are, the silo might seem like a respite, might seem like a place where we can run to and hide and have refuge in, but do not make the mistake of believing that detachment, disengagement from life is the right way to go, is the route for you. Because then reconnecting, reattaching in healthy ways can be extraordinarily difficult and challenging. So, in the silo, as long as you got your buddies and your friends and your support systems and your support structures checking on you, might be okay to do that for a short amount of time or a period of time where you can really kind of take stock of yourself, do some reflection, go on retreat, those kinds of things that are going to be for a given amount of time with the intention of rebuilding, refilling your cup, resupporting the energy structure that you are as the heart-based person that you are. Maybe spending time in nature, maybe camping, maybe hiking, doing things like that that just really fill the soulful energy and then bring a light, a rekindling of that light within you that really support the heart, that really support the beautiful empathic energy that you exist with. So the silo energy can be supportive. However, to isolate and to create a separation is part of the problem. The separation, the separateness, the division is part of the common misperception is I'm going to keep myself safe by disconnecting, by not being a part of. There is a delicate balance there. I recognize that because some of us have to show up and participate in organizations, in relationships and family dynamics that are not that healthy or not healthy at all, perhaps. But in order to coexist, we have to continue to show up. So it's not something that's going to fuel us or something we believe in necessarily, but we have to exist in those spaces. And I know that's hard. I know how hard that is. I know how hard that is. But all of our situations and circumstances are different. And to different degrees, we have different levels of tolerance in our empathic energies. So the need to silo and to detach in a healthy way, but still participate is a survival mechanism, is a technique or a strategy that, when implemented with consciousness, can actually help you navigate and move through scenarios that are energetically intense, that are not good for you, that are hard for you, but in the inside of yourself, within your core cylinder of you, you are maintaining your energetic integrity while still functioning in this environment that doesn't have perhaps integrity. Okay, do you see what I mean? There is a delicate balance there. There's not a one size fits all, a one way to do things. Here's your 5 steps to survive a toxic work environment. Those are just things to get you started. Those are just things to give you a perspective or an idea about how to handle your shit. And handling your shit is really a lifelong it's a lifelong project, isn't it? It is. And at the same time, the energy within you the being on your own side, the softening your heart within you, the being kind to yourself, the heart encouraging the mind with more hopeful thoughts and about yourself. Like think of 3 things that are great about you right now. Like think of 3 things, your top 3 things that are really great about you. Just do that right now. Just do that. You're probably like, "Hey, what does this have to do with psychicness?" I'm like, girls and boys and others, if you cannot be on your own side, toot your own horn, then you don't understand energy or energetics. You don't understand the power of your soul, which means intuition and psychicness is beyond you then. You will not have access to intuition. You will have not have access to the consciousness of your soul in this lifetime. If you can't figure out the way is through you, through yourself, through your positive and hopeful, encouraging, and inspiring thoughts and actions that are healthy to promote the health and wellness of your body, mind, heart, and soul. Being on your own side, that's a lifelong effort. That is a commitment. That is the relationship we got to focus on here, empaths. That. And then other things will be more beneficial, will be more substantive, will be more yummy. You'll have better experiences all the way around. All right. So, 3 things that are great about you. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to give you one about you guys, about each and every one of you, about each and every one of us. Whoops. That just went- Alarm just went off. About each and every one of you is that you care. Okay. You have such a sweet heart. You are a sweet heart. That's what's so great about you. And I know that because you're listening to a conversation about energetics, about empaths, which means you care. So you're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. I know you're a sweetheart. Don't worry, I won't tell anybody. I don't want to like wreck your rough exterior. Okay, Fonzie. I don't want to make you uncool. Okay. All right. That for sure. Okay, so whatever your other 2 great qualities are, smart enough to put a tissue in my pocket today. Ooh, allergy. Something is blooming. It might be you. I have a bug bite, you guys, on my knee, and it is driving me nuts. So I'm itching it while we're talking. So if you keep seeing me leaning down on my knee, it's not the dog. She's over there. She over there sleeping on the bed because that's her favorite place is my bed. But I'm itching this bug bite. It itches. Itches. That's what you get from the 4th of July stuff. Being outside all the time. Oh, itchy, itchy, itchy. Okay, okay. Now that I said that, my other bug bites are itching. You're welcome. For those of you who have them and now are thinking about them, get the Benadryl stick or the Afterbite bug stick. That's the generic version. They got them at like Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Target. I like the Benadryl one personally, but the Afterbite one is the same jam. It's just a little bit different. The stick is like shorter and fatter, but they work. They work. Okay. So what are your other 2 great things? We're going to strengthen that silo. I'm writing down. Here's my notes. From the beginning of the year, I kept them. They've been on the door frame right here that I've been able to look at over and over and over again. Strong fullness inside. Or strong fullness inside. We're halfway through the year. It's about time we make sure we revisit these things and tap into that because that's what the spirit guides told us. That's what the team said. They were like, hey, we're going to give you guys a heads up. So let's utilize that. What are your other 2 great things about you? These are things you could journal about. I know it's cheesy. The cheesier, the better. The cheesier, the better, you guys. I'm serious. I am legit serious. Things that work, that are good for us, are free and basic. Okay? If something's too complicated, there's a reason for that. Okay? There's a reason for that. Okay? Let's get to be basic and free. Like nature, like the air that we breathe, like the sunshine, like water. You can go and sit by the water. You can go wade in the water. You can go swim in the pool. Free. That's energetic healing right there. Free healing. Okay. Walk in nature, talk to the trees, their spirit guides. That's a free psychic session right there. Free. Okay. You can have connection, reconnect, consistently connect. Okay. Free and easy, basic. Okay. Funny, smart, and creative. Woohoo! There we go. Ha ha ha. Funny, smart, and creative. Nice. Oh, that's great. Definitely, I'd say, okay, so we're sweethearts. I'm trying to think of what are my other two great things. Um, I think my openness. I think I'm really open to learning. I think that's what's so great about me is I'm open to learning new things and different perspectives about things and to changing my opinions or my viewpoints on things. Like I'm open, like in my mind and my heart. I mean, I'm not perfectly open all the time. I mean, I definitely have strong opinions on things, but I'd like to recognize that I do have an openness about me. And so I like that. That's one of my great things. That's one of my great things. Yeah. I have to think about what the other one is. Oh, probably. I am definitely a cheerleader, super encouraging. And so I am using those skills that I have had here and online for years now, and in my private sessions for you guys, to be an encourager and to really support you and encourage you. I'm using those same tools for myself now with more intention. I mean, I've always kind of been on my own side anyway, but now I have such intentionality about like trying to be aware of my thoughts and feeling into the icky feelings that sometimes creep into my heart and be like, okay, where am I at? What's up here? What's this about? If there's something I can learn from it, I'll sit there and be present for myself and be with it. And if there's not, if it's not mine, I'll clear it. And it doesn't always work. It can take a day or two or a week or whatever to do that, but I'm doing that for myself more now, more consciously. Just trying to encourage myself. So I think you'll notice that probably in the videos too, hopefully. So I'd say that. Attitude of gratitude. Yeah, definitely. Yep, for sure. Attitude of gratitude. Yeah, good. All right. Okay. So I would like to, I mean, we're just sitting here chilling. Let me just kind of feel some vibes here. I have a really good friend of mine who's not watching my YouTube channel today because she is in Europe. She's in Europe. Girl's in Europe right now. Okay. She's in London at the Glastonbury. I think she's in Glastonbury today. I'm not sure where exactly. Been by the Stonehenge, all that kind of stuff. And and we usually talk like almost every day. So I'm like, oh my God, I haven't talked to her. But I know she's having a blast. So she's really connecting with Magdalene energy, Mary Magdalene energy. So I got out some cards, some of these Magdalene cards that I have. Um, and I thought it would be cool to draw a card and share them with you guys because card decks can be resources, just like our singing bowl that we used yesterday, just like our oils, anointing oils or essential oils. You can just use lavender. You can use um, olive oil. You can use almond oil for anointing, whatever works for you. Okay. Just the lavender oils you put on your feet or in your tub. That can be sacred by the way that you utilize it. Ritual, caring for your body, honoring the body. The body is a beautiful part of our 2024 empathic focus and devotion, okay? Which is a rough part. It can be rough, right? Because our relationships with our bodies can be rough. Mine has been very rocky, as you well know, very rocky. So whatever you use, whatever tools you have, use them for yourself, right? So I'm going to use these for my friend, my Magdalene friend. This is a card deck. I'll share it with you. Let's see. This is Elaine Kalila Dowdy's deck, Magdalene Rose. I actually know Elaine. So the Reclamation of Your Feminine Magic, Magdalene Rose Oracle. Isn't that pretty? Look at that book. You can get it on Amazon. Isn't that pretty? Look at that deck cover. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful. This is deep divine feminine stuff, you guys, like really deep. Like if you're into the like the rosary stuff, the work with the rosary as like one of your sacred tools right now, because some people are doing that. It's kind of a trendy kind of a thing a little bit. It's kind of making a comeback. As a divination tool. I'm not talking religion dogma. I'm talking as a divination tool. So as a more pure tool to use and more organic, let's say it that way. And then the Magdalene, there's been a rise of the Magdalene the last probably 4 or 5 years, I'd say. And so Elaine Kalila, she has a group online called Priestess Presence Temple. And it's like a free Facebook page. And she's got like a book and she's got priestess temple courses and all sorts of stuff that you can take if you're interested in that. But the divine feminine, as we know, since 2016 has been making a huge comeback, like a raging comeback. And we're not going underground again. Let me just tell you. Yeah, it's not going to happen. All right. So I just pulled a card talking about the feminine, the rise of the feminine. And so that is what this is perhaps in relationship to is maybe it's collective, maybe it's global, or maybe it's in your own personal life. Maybe it's the feminine within you. Maybe it's the part of your heart chakra, your empathic heart that is feminine, the nurturer, caregiver, the divine mother, the divine grandmother, the wise sage woman who takes care of. Does that sound familiar? That's definitely an empathic theme. It doesn't matter gender, but the divine feminine is associated with that. Okay. So it might be part of your life right now to encourage you or support you. So let's see what this says. Okay. It could be a global thing too. I'm just going to say might be some stuff coming in on that lately. Let me just say that. I haven't talked about it, but there is. Oh. Ooh, and I'm getting warm. I'm going to have to totally turn on the fan here. Let me tell you. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll just get another one. I'm just kidding. One of the things as empaths that we know is that there's a shadow and a light balance. There's a shadow, a darkness, the night, which is what gives us respite, which sometimes in historic terms causes us to go underground or to feel almost hidden. I'm not attaching emotions to that. I'm just saying there's an energy of that, like the silo, okay? Like the isolation piece, okay? There's a little bit of that vibe. And right now in the world, in multiple countries and globally and in the United States, there is a bit of that vibe, isn't there? There is. But the balance of that is the light quotient. And sometimes the light seems really small in the darkness, but all you need is one. It reminds me, like I'm seeing the imagery of the big old churches at Christmas time, at the candlelight services, like on Christmas Eve, when one candle is lit and then they pass to the next candle lighting, to the next candle lighting, to the next candle lighting. And the energy of the church imagery is intentional, is what I'm being told right now. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I have wise woman energy with me. The archetype of the wise woman and the archetype of Queen of Death are the two that I've worked with this last year, we'll say, as you know, because I've told you that if you've been watching all my videos. So that imagery of the light in that darkness is, and it being passed along is intentional. Okay. So the card that we got is Illuminatrix, and it's the light in the darkness. It's kind of hard to see this because I'm going to kind of, because of the light coming into my room here. See the lantern, the light onto my path. There's a little bit of water in the background. It's misty and murky. The Illuminatrix, number 32. If you're into numerology, you can look up the 3 and the 2 together. That's a 5. You can look up the number 5. Or if 32 rings a bell to you and whatever healing work that you do. Trying to think of 35. No, 33 is the one that I use. But this might feel how you feel. This might be how you feel. You might feel like this right now. This might be that silo vibe energetically. And it's okay. It's not gloom and doom. This is not gloom and doom. This is hope. This right here, that's hope. It's not completely black. Okay? It's not completely darkness. It's not completely devoid of light. There's always light. See? Look, this little light. This little light of mine. See? Okay, I'm going to read the book so you guys can have a sense of kind of how she talks about these in case you're into this. Again, this is the book. This is the deck. Magdalene Rose Oracle. I didn't expect to share this one today, but I was thinking about my friend in Europe right now. So, okay, so what is this? Number 32. Well, I don't have my specs, do I? They're over there. Let us see. Let us see. Let us see. Here we go. Oh, really? Just a minute. Let me grab my glasses here. I think I have them down here. Do I have them? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'm going to turn on the fan because it's hot in here with all the sunshine coming in. Didn't I say Queen of Death? Did I say Queen of Death? I think I said Queen of Death. Yes, I did. Okay, so the first part of these cards is like a bit of what they consider a transmission. See the italics right here? See that little like poem sort of? And then it talks about receiving this card, what it means to receive this card. Okay, so the initial like spoken word transmission piece of this particular card, it's called the Death Maiden Illuminatrix. Death Maiden, not Iron Maiden. Do not confuse it with Iron Maiden. It is the Death Maiden. Hey, Deja, nice to see you. All right, so I'm going to read. I'm not going to read this whole like spiritually channeling thing, but I'm going to read the part of receiving this card, what it means, all right? As the face of the Magdalene, who is the Death Maiden, you've been initiated to let go. There's something that's ready to be complete, but you've been avoiding it. It's like an old skin stopping you from being able to grow. Perhaps this is a relationship, a job, or a part of yourself. Whatever it is, it's time to acknowledge that it no longer lights you up and keeps you feeling vibrant. See this clearly now with conscious awareness. You may be feeling a fear of letting go, a fear of release, of death, of an ending. You may resist the change you know is coming or is required for you to move more fully into your radiance. Yeah, nice. If you've been holding on tightly, hoping that if you just close your eyes and ignore it, it'll go away. No, this won't happen, beloved. It will slip through your fingers just like sand. You can't hold on to this. The harder you try, the more choked off from its life blood it becomes, and the less alive you feel. So it's the blockages, right? It's the blockages that we feel. I would strongly recommend, if this is resonating with you, to listen back to the Sunday Morning Coffee podcast from yesterday. okay, from Sunday, July 7th. It resonates with this. And we did some energy work in that particular podcast that relates to this. And it says, I'm here to signal that there may be grief you need to feel around this release. If so, recognize the beauty of this grief as it moves through you. Do not block, do not hold back, or be fearful of your precious tears. Grieving is living, living is grieving, and everything ends. So consider this. This could be something that you would ponder, contemplate, meditate on, or journal about. It says, consider this. What are you holding on to so tightly that you're afraid to release? What are you holding on to so tightly that you're afraid to release? Wow, this is good. This is really good today. This is big, 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 big. I also have an oil that is called Release that I will use right now to help support and encourage this, to allow you to be strong within, to use the energy of the silo as the pranic tube, as the divine alignment. This smells so good. As the divine alignment for you, okay? Strong within, right? And release doesn't have to mean you have to do a major or massive shedding. I'm going to do the back of the neck because this is where the third eye stuff comes out. This is where the past comes out. Do over the shoulders. Get over the shoulders, the back of the heart space there, kind of dust that off, kind of clear that heart space energy. Release doesn't mean a forced or intensive clearing, okay? This isn't like cold shower kind of vibes, okay? It can just be a softening. The first part of releasing is that acknowledgement or awareness that there is something there. You might not know what it is, and newsflash, you don't always have to identify or know what it is. You won't always know. You won't always get like, aha, a moment of clarity and insight, and then a release happens. Things are not that neat. It is very messy, and especially right now, because one thing sticks onto another thing, like lint in the dryer, and there's a big lint ball right there, right? It's from multiple loads, okay? It's not just from one thing. And you don't need to know, okay? Don't get lost in the details of the thing. Focus on letting the energy flow in your heart space to soften so that you can release some of that excess stress, anxiety that you might feel in the back of the heart space. Letting some of the intensity of the past just loosen up a little, okay? Just soften up a little bit. You don't have to go in there with the hacksaw and start cutting all the cords and And if you need to cut cords, if you want to cut cords, I highly recommend you utilize and work with Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael has a sword and a shield. Those are two very powerful psychic tools that anybody can use. Just ask Archangel Michael to work with you to lighten your load, to help cut some of the cords, release some of the attachments, loosen some of the strings, okay? That's it. That's it. Just loosen it up. When I see this, you guys, because I'm so clairvoyant, I see it as like a big, huge, heavy, thick head of hair pulled into like dreadlocks and braids in the back, and just a really heavy, long, like ponytail filled with like braids and dreadlocks and just really thick, heavy. Some of it's really messy. Some of it you can kind of untangle and just let it free flow, just untangling the braids. You can just free flow and just kind of shake the head out so it doesn't like hurt. It's not bound tight in the back. It just kind of shake it loose. And then there's still some messy, really tangled pieces that will need to be cut out. And so that's where Archangel Michael comes in with his sword, and he just cuts that off for you so it doesn't encumber you or hold you back. And that's it. You don't have to know what that one was. What was that one? What was it? Was it that time in 6th grade? The teacher called on me and I didn't know and I felt really embarrassed. Was it that kid on the bus? in 8th grade that was a jerkwad and was super mean to me, teasing me all the time? Was it that boyfriend that I had in college that was a total a-hole? Like, what was it, right? No, you don't need to know. This is not an episode of Happy Days or a Netflix TV show, okay? You don't need to know the whole thing. You don't have to relive that crap. You've been there, did that, done that once. Let's let it be done. Trusting the process means trusting your heart space, you empathic person. This is where your power center is. So just let yourself feel a little bit lighter, softer with the energetics. Okay. That's how you clear. That's how you start to release yourself from the bonds and the ties that have twisted your heart into knots, or your stomach, twisted into knots kind of thing, right? Because your heart and your soul work together so much in this life. So much. They're like BFFs. They're like Batman and Robin. They're just so together and connected. And so it makes sense, right? It makes sense that your heart is so intuitive because it's so close. BFFs with your soul, So, all right, my sweethearts, because I know that about you, your sweetheart. I know it. And actually, interestingly, I wore my sweetheart ring, my garnet. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. And I also wore my other bracelets that I have as well. I have a garnet. I think they're both garnet, actually. One of them simulated, though. I just got this one from a friend of mine. She sent it to me. I love it. It's pretty. And I've been wearing them. I don't usually wear a lot of bracelets, and I've been wearing them because I've been wearing my watch that I got for Christmas. Oh, you guys, it's got, well, can you see it? Here, let me show you. Show and tell. Taking a sidetrack from the, oh, wait, here, can you see it? It's Mickey Mouse. Oops.
It's 10:39. Good morning, pal.
I have it set on the Mickey Mouse setting, the Steamboat Willie. I got it for my mom and my sister for Christmas because it has an EKG thing and I can do heart monitoring on it. So I can actually record it and then I can use an app to upload it to send it to my cardiologist if I have like the sinus, the arrhythmia stuff that I was having. I have to track some of that stuff. So yeah, so isn't that cool? So anyway, whatever. Okay, distraction, attraction. All right, my dears. Thank you so much for being here today here on Above Life channel. I hope I've inspired your spirit on this Monday after the holiday week in the US here. Encouraged you to live your life. This is your life after all, you sweet heart and beautiful soul. And you get to live it. So just live it. Just live it. Hey, thanks for being here. Bye for now. I have to go grocery shopping. That's not so fun. Bye. Have a great day, you guys.